Greetings, Glitter Gang. It's just about 10 o'clock on September 1st. You're here for Kathryn Scraps Live. This is part 2 of the evening show. We just completed the inserts and matting for the back pocket of the first file folder. So now we are flipping to the back of the second file folder and we're going to get to work on that. So, all right. Now, progress has been made, at least some. We did do, okay, yeah. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I am gonna, all right. So I'm going to chomp these, and then these will just be facing a different direction. And then also, I'm continuing a conversation about scissors from the previous recording, but the other thing is every brand kind of has like levels of scissors within them. So, you know, where they have all different kinds of scissors. So, particularly Fiskars, because they have such a broad kind of range of people they're selling to, because they're trying to sell to everyone from, you know, quilters to like parents sending their kids off to school. So it's just like a, and they make Fiskars, I mean, Fiskars makes like all kinds of stuff. They make rakes, they make plows, blades for plows. They make all kinds of interesting stuff. They were originally a sword company, question mark. The company is like 400 years old. And I think they originally made swords and then had to transition once swords were no longer a thing people really needed. Had to transition to other things. And I think that's when they got into farm equipment and plow blades, things like that. But yeah, if you ever read about them, it's interesting. The current owner is like a count. He's a, I don't know, he's a weird guy. He, there was some question about whether or not their ink was non-toxic, so he drank a full glass of ink on camera to prove it was. Not that that necessarily proves it was, but just like, so they are interesting. They are interesting. Okay, where is my, there it is. All right. Okay, so 2 of these will get chomped on the left and 2 of these will get chomped on the right. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get these in here. Then we'll go from there. So, you know, just want to make sure, because this is being designed as a Christmas album, that there's plenty of spots for all your photos and memories and all your, especially if you are, now this is not necessarily going to work as a December daily album if people still are into that. However, you know, every time I've tried to do December daily, it hasn't worked out anyway, because some days you have tons of photos. I mean, I have always had things that I did, but where it's like, okay, you know, on days when we didn't go out and do anything to take pictures of, I I've always had kind of ideas for things that I would fill in with. Like you can take pictures of, I would take pictures of special ornaments or talk about movies, special movies, things like that. But anyway, so you can kind of make December daily work even if you're not going out and about all Christmas season. However, if you don't want to make December daily work, if that's not something that you're into, this could be a good catch-all because, you know, you could just think of it as each week of the month or something like that. So, you know, because you've got 3 of these, so, you know, say 10 days each in these big ones. And, you know, you can put all your receipts and everything in here. There's plenty of places for photos back here. So this is maybe a format that'll work a little bit better for that. All right, so we've got, these are all full. So now we just have to decide what kind of paper we want to put in here. And just like before, okay, let's go back over here. We need 1, 2, 3 papers that are gonna coordinate together. Okay, and then this is a 4th one, but that's, you know, less of a big deal. So we got to find 4 papers that are gonna work for what we want to do. So I'm just gonna grab the paper stack. Let's see what we find. Okay, so I like this pink. Let's do this one and this one. And then something kind of pinkish is what I want, but not this one. I think I'll maybe do this one, these 3. Okay. Oh, wait, I missed a couple sheets. The black. No. We'll just use these. Just use, or, yeah. Okay. All right. All right, so I'm going to go cut these down to 12 by 12 squares. But what I'm thinking is I'm going to put this one back here. This one, oh, I only need, I was, I was going to do this one, then this one, then this one. But I don't think this one's going to show. This one is not going to show enough. So I think I'm going to do this one, then something else, then this one. Just a little something else in between them. What to do, what to do, what to do, what to do, what to do. What to do, to do, to do, to do. Okay. New plan. Gonna do, where is the Merry Christmas sheet? I just saw it, so. It's just rained and rained and rained and rained and rained and rained for 10 days. And everything is so humid and sticky. Here it is. Okay, so we're going to do this one, this Merry Christmas, as a liner. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, let's do this one. No. We'll do this one, then this one, then this one. I give up. I don't care anymore. I give up. I give up. I'm going to do these three. Well, we needed the rain, but I just wish rain, I mean, you know, just, I don't know. Hurricane season is, you know, always fun times. Although this one has been so quiet, and it's been so funny to watch the media, you know, that would normally be capitalizing on a busy hurricane season, being like, it's not a busy hurricane season. Should we freak out about that? Scientists predicted a busy hurricane season, but so far there's been no hurricanes. Should we worry? Should we panic? And it's like, or maybe just like calm down because there's not a hurricane. Just like, oh, I didn't check my Halloween paper for a tiny cat. I do still need to do that. I do still need to get a tiny cat. Anyway, so I'm sure that everyone at the Weather Channel is relieved that there is finally a tropical storm. But, I mean, just to give you an idea of how kind of quiet the hurricane season has been, the tropical storm is Danielle. They're only on D. Last year, they had so many storms, they went through the whole alphabet, and they had to loop back around and do a new alphabet. So they went through the entire regular alphabet, and then they had to start with a Greek alphabet. So that's how busy hurricane season was last year. And this year, we're on D. It's October, or it's not October, it's September, and we're on D. Now, September is the peak, but October, there were no storms. August. August is a month before September. You know what a calendar it is. Okay. Yeah, exactly. People who live in these areas are glad there have been no hurricanes. The only people who think that's a problem are the people who make money off freaking people out about hurricanes. So, all right. So the sequin paper needs to be to get the tab, it needs to be like 8.5, just to be not 8.5, more like 8 1/4. I think we'll be fine with 8 1/4. And then 8 1/4 by 10 3/4. And by the sequin paper, I mean the ornament paper. Well, and Judy, we were still in San Antonio when Harvey hit. And San Antonio was luckily for the people in not hit nearly as hard as Houston, thankfully. But over the course of the storm, the amount of rain that would normally fall on San Antonio over the course of a year fell on San Antonio. So it was, and San Antonio's it's not on the coast. It's not on the coast. So, but yeah, we were in San Antonio for Harvey. That was such a bad one. Yeah, we got here on October 30th. My sister and I got here on October 30th, 2017. So. Okay, so now we need to punch the holes, and I just need to measure again to where do I think I need my tab to be. 3 1/4. Okay. So if I punch 3 1/4 in, oh, I forgot, Candy. The storm is waiting for you. Yeah, it takes such a long time to come back from those kind of storms. All right, so 3 1/4. I'm not sure 3 1/4 is gonna cut it, but let's find out. Yeah, obviously I'm great at math, as you can tell. I think I need to come over a 1/2 inch. So let's do 3 3/4. Three 3/4 is too big. So it's probably 3 1/2 then. So that's cool. Okay, so here's how we're gonna fix this. We're just gonna cut this off. And it's just not gonna go all the way to the bottom. Problem solved. Problem solved. We were in New Orleans in November of 2003. It was still really rough. And then we were in Gulfport, Mississippi, maybe that December. And that was also rough. And we were in Gulfport. Oh no, Gretchen. Gretchen's fallen out of sync with the project. Okay. All right. We got it. We got it. 3 1/2. 3 1/2 if you're following along. You can do it. You can do it, Gretchen. I have faith in you. I tell you what, I'll take a week off and I won't work on it again till Thursday and you can catch up. I just don't think this is a 1/2 inch. I think I used a different. I think I used a 1/4 by accident. Yeah, I did. Okay. All right, so now this is ready to go in. We have a very skinny little strip of adhesive there. All right, so now we're gonna slide this in. I don't put tape on the leading edge. Candy. What the? Did I put this tab on here for no reason? Oh, because... How am I going to do this? Oh no, don't stick to anything. Okay, good. Okay, so Candy has made the book and was trying not to like the bumper pockets because she didn't want to line the slits up. But unfortunately, the bumper pockets were cute, so now she's going to have to deal. All right, so I think, and this is not the right size anyway. All right, so that would look weird. So we're just gonna leave it naked. We're just gonna leave it naked. Naked. Okay, so now this is the one where we have to make the little pant legs. So we're gonna do that with the glitter. With the glitter pockets. And I'm just going to do 3 inches. You don't really need that much. So. All right, so. Just 10 3/4 by 3. All right. And then we have to do legs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to center it. And the center is 5 3/8. Okay. So then I'm going to do this. I'm going to line my ruler up with the 1/8 of an inch on either side of the 6. Okay. So we're going to cut a 1/4 inch out of the middle. Again, no one's going to see it. All right, and then 3/4, or not 3/4, 7/8 of an inch down from the top. Well, and it's really good to, they're talking in the chat about making practice bumper pockets and things like that. If you make your practice ones out of file folders, then they can be templates and they'll be nice and sturdy for you. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to put my adhesive. By the way, those of you who liked The Island of Sea Women, which we read earlier this year, especially if you have Apple TV Plus, I read Pachinko. You don't have the pant legs? All right. So here's how we do the pant legs, okay? So I'm going to cut, this line is 7/8 of an inch in from the edge, and then this is just a 1/4 inch line down the middle. I'm going to remove this 1/4 inch line, and that's going to create our pant legs. Normally I just do 1/8, but I really struggled with measuring this last week, so just did a 1/4 of an inch so that I wouldn't have to cut it 5 times like I did last week. Okay. And then what these little pant legs do is, because this pocket is divided, so this has a little X wing down in there. You can't see it, to divide it into 2 pockets. Those little pants, I guess this is the pants and these are the legs. So the little legs, they just go down in there. And because of the slit, they look like a continuous piece of paper, but then in the pocket, they also look like patterned paper is going all the way down the pocket, like a full liner. So this just gives it a really finished look, and it's nice. All right, time to put our legs in our pants. And sometimes people ask me why I bother doing this instead of just lining the pocket, or instead of just putting this pattern paper down before I put that little X on the pocket. I just like that it covers the X and it just looks cleaner and more finished. That's all. It also makes it a little bit easier to slide things in the pockets, because it's covering half of the flaps. Okay. All right, so now we're just gonna put our pants on. Come at it from this direction because I'm right-handed, and that makes it a little easier. Anyway, if you liked The Island of Sea Women, and especially if you have Apple TV Plus, but not necessarily, Pachinko by Lee Min-jin is a multi-generational family saga, and the women from The Island of Sea Women are in Pachinko. briefly, but they're there. Not like specifically the women we read about. They're two different authors. But those divers, those women divers. Okay. All right, so now this one's easy. We just put a piece of paper down. So okay. How big is this pocket? Do I know? No. Is it, did I make the book? Yes. Do I remember what I did? No. Okay, so 4 1/4 by 10 3/4 is the size we need for covering this. And I'm going to do that out of the black. All right, there we go. And then we'll just tape this, ink it, and stick it down. And then we just need to pick our papers for our inserts and then make a coordinating flap here. So maybe it was Pachinko, because they are in Pachinko, and Pachinko is a series on Apple TV Plus. So I read the book because we have Apple TV Plus through the end of the year, and I want to watch the show. But I also have wanted to read the book for a few years, and I knew if I watched the show without reading the book, I would not read the book. I very rarely will. I have no problem seeing any adaptation of a book I read, but I rarely will go back and read a book of an adaptation I've seen. I usually don't go that way. So just knowing myself, I know if I watch the show, I don't have to wait in the room while the video is uploading, but I have other stuff I need to be doing. So usually what ends up happening is I'm doing that other stuff, like making the thumbnails for YouTube and writing the video descriptions and getting all the links and things, doing all of that. And so usually when I'm done, it's not enough time that I want to go downstairs. I can't really, you know, I'll go downstairs and I could go downstairs and sit for a minute, but I can't really do anything. So normally I just kind of stay up here and try to make work for myself on the computer. So it's better for me if the videos are shorter. So that I don't have to figure out as many things to do while I'm up here. I could go downstairs. I have if it's really long. Sometimes like YouTube takes longer than other times. YouTube is the one that takes, it's not the archives. The archives are fast. It's YouTube that's usually the issue. Okay. All right. So now we're all matted. And if we want to just quickly make this coordinate, we can. And let's do, the Merry Christmas paper, and let's do something really, let's do Kitty. This is Kitty. So she'll just be right there. This is going to be Marcel. We'll have to put a little eye patch on him. But that can be Marcel, and then we have to get the Halloween cat to be Kitty. All right, so what I'm gonna do is make a 3/4 inch square of this. I wonder if, Jill, it's licensed differently in Australia, and it was pachinko, but somebody else has the license outside the United States. Like maybe it's not an Apple TV Plus original. It's just that Apple TV Plus is who has the rights in the US. Okay. Now, what we're going to do with this kitty is we're going to put it on green cardstock. And actually, I'm just going to cannibalize a piece of cardstock from back here. I'm going to take off some of the black border. Okay. Yeah, that looks a little better. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to ink Kitty. Oh, no. That's not pachinko, I don't think. I don't think that sounds like pachinko, so it might have been a completely different show. Because pachinko is about a type of Korean, well, it's a type of Korean / Japanese person. So because Korea was a colony of Japan for a while, there's a group of like ethnic Korean Japanese citizens, Japanese people. And there's a name for them. But that's who the book is about. It's about these people that have been living in Japan for generations, but they're Korean, but they've been living there since, you know, the 20s. And just, you know, kind of how they came to be there and what it's been like and what it was like for them during the war and after the war and all of that. And after both wars, actually. And like, they were talking about how on their passports, they had to, in the book, they had to they had indicators not just that they were Korean. Even if they'd been born in Japan and lived their whole life in Japan, they would have indicators that they were these ethnically Korean people. But they also divided up until like kind of recently, whether they were from the north of Korea or the south of Korea. So, because before the war, before the Korean War, the northern part of Korea was more influenced by China / where China and Japan were fighting their war. And the southern part of Korea, the Korean Peninsula, was where Japan had was colonized by Japan, and was kind of where Japan was fighting the war from. So, like, even before the country was divided, the Japanese thought about Koreans from the north and Koreans from the south differently. But the whole thing was just, it was really interesting that so it's about one particular family of these types of Japanese, Korean Japanese people. So anyway, but it's just mostly a multi-generational family story about a Korean family going through the war. So it covers a lot of the same time period and same, world events as the Island of Sea Women. But instead of people who were kind of isolated on an island, we have people who are living in Japan. But they're still Korean. But they're also Japanese. Ethnically Korean, nationally Japanese. Okay, so now the cat is backed on green cardstock, and the reason I did this is because if the cat hangs over the edges, which I think it will, then it will be green that shows and not white from the paper. All right, anyway, there we go. All right. Dun, da, 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 da. It's not actually going to hang over that much because I cut off some of that extra. So I probably didn't need to back it with the green cardstock since I trimmed the extra, since I cut back the border. So, oh well. It's just, it's what's done is done. What's done is done. All right, so we're gonna get this stuck down. And then that'll finish off that. Okay. Oh, look how cute Kitty is. This cat's even a little bit chunky. All right, so now we are working on inserts. So we've got this one. Where are all of the inserts? I threw them on the floor. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. All right, so we've got the big one and then the two smaller ones. So for the big one, I'm gonna do, what do I want to do? What do I want to do with you? Kitty! I'm going to do this. Is there a kitty coming up the stairs? For the back, let's just do this. Is there like a purple solid maybe? Yeah, here we go. Okay. Purple solid. All right. I think there might be a kitty up here, but it hasn't made itself known to me. Tiny cat. Kitty? Nope, no cats. I've just been driven crazy by all, I'm just hallucinating cat noises now. Okay, so all right, gonna cut these down to 6 1/4 by 8 5/8. That's the size they need to be. So there's the back. Now let's work on the front. My office is a mess because I've been babysitting a maniac cat all week. Maniac sitting. So once again, 6 1/4 by 8 5/8. Okay. So that's going to go like so. Nope, I like it better like that. Okay, it's going to go like so. And that's going to go like so. And then I'm going to put one of these weird ones on there. I think I'm going to put Let's Jingle and Flamingo. Or should we put the cactus? What do you think? I also have Jingle Shells, We Wish You a Beachy, and We Wish You a Beachy Christmas. Do you think he shouldn't go on the lanai? I'm going to do... Let's do Baby It's Warm Outside, and then we'll do this little guy here. Should he not go outside? I don't know anything about cats. You want a flamingo? Yeah, I guess flamingos are very Florida. So, I don't know. But the lanai is like not really outside. But I don't know why it would be bad for him to go outside anyway. So, because like I said, I don't know anything about cats. I do know that because of all the problems we had with Kitty and the lanai when we moved in, that the lanai has a screen on it for that is for Rottweilers. So he's not getting out, no matter how determined he is. So now Kitty, every time Kitty has gone on the lanai, because it's fully screened in, anytime Kitty's gotten out has been, well, it was because the screen was, when she really got out, it was because the screen was broken. She's more likely to go out the front door. But yeah, the lanai is totally screened in. It has a roof and everything. So he can't even if he could climb upside down like Spider-Man, he is not getting out. So. But yeah. Yeah, he does. He has a pretty cush life right now, which I think he appreciates. He plays with, it's so funny. He plays with every single cat toy in this house. Every single cat toy in this house. So like Kitty and Tiny, you know, they each have like their favorites, but they hate like 90% of the cat toys we get. He thinks every single cat toy in the house is a work of genius. So, and he loves Kitty. Every cat loves Kitty. Does Kitty love every cat? No. Well, I guess Tiny Cat doesn't love Kitty, so not every cat loves Kitty. All right. So anyway, I don't think he's going to get out, but because Kitty's only ever been let out, she's never escaped. Once we replace the screens with Rottweiler screens, because she used to not. She did get out by smashing out the bottom, out screens. So they were obviously very secure. So I don't know if I've told you about any of the weird properties in Georgia we found. Have I told you about the one with the 3 trailers on it? Huh? Because we found a property in Georgia. Well, Marcel will play with anything. I dropped an ice cube on the floor and it entertained him until it melted. Okay, so Mr. Lifeguard and I both found this property independent of each other, which is what's so funny. And basically what it is, what they're advertising it as is it's got 5 residences on it that are rentable, I guess, that you can rent out. There's no HOA. There's no HOA. So it's in the outskirts. It's in the skirts. But each of these properties has its own electric meter, and 4 of them have their own septic tank and water and all that, and 2 of them share. And the 2 that share, it makes sense that they share because it's a duplex on 5 acres. Yeah. So there's a duplex, a single family home, and 2 trailers on a 5-acre parcel. And one of the trailers is way on the back of the lot. So it's all the way in the back. And then the duplex and the single family home are on the street, like on the road. And then the second trailer is kind of behind them, back off the road. So now what they're saying is, okay, you rent out all the other properties for $5,000 a month, which I haven't seen these properties, but just based on how they look from the outside, that seems not true. That seems not, but based on the location, and I just don't think you could rent them for $5,000 a month. I think that's not true, but then again, I don't know. I mean, it's freaking crazy what things are going for around here, so. Yes, we have used Google Street and satellites to see the other homes, and the other homes are nice. In fact, this property seems to be the trashiest property in the area. So we would be those people. We would be the neighborhood trash. So it's, you know what? Like, we didn't start the fire, okay? It was already burning. So but this is definitely like the property that it shares a driveway with. So they kind of have like leased, I don't know. There's like given usage of a corner of the property to the property. The property next to it doesn't have road access. So the only road access that the property to the immediate, like if you were facing the property to the immediate left, the only road access it has is through this property. Which seems like poor planning. But, well, that's what I said. I said not to get it tested for meth. Yeah, I think they're meant to just be funny for cards and things. You know, because if you're in, I think it's just like, because, you know, she's in Florida and, you know, it's when it's hot where you are in the summer, the snow stuff doesn't always work, but it's not the same art style. So I do agree. That's why I'm putting them inside a pocket, so that it'll just be a funny surprise, but we won't be having to decorate around them, because I do think they're cute and I would definitely use them for cards, because it's the right vibe for where we live, but they don't, they're just kind of on their own, you know, style wise. Anyway, so it does seem like the people who lived on it last were trying to maybe do like a homesteading kind of thing, because there is some food attempts to grow food on the property. There was some animals on the property. There's some farm equipment that's been abandoned on the property. Cleaning up the property would cost money. Like, there's stuff that would have to be hauled away if it was going to look nice. So, I mean, it's a project for sure, and I think it's overpriced. And I think one way that you know it's overpriced is we've been looking at it for a month. Well, Ella, that's what we were thinking is, you know, over time, of course you can leave the duplex and the single family home that are on the street. Just leave them alone. Over time, replace the 2 trailers, because they do have water and power. So those slabs could be built out. Judy, we, that's Mr. Lifeguard's dream to live. Bye, Jill. Have a good night. Or actually, good afternoon, I guess. So, Mr. Lifeguard's dream is to be on a 55 plus property that he goes everywhere in a golf cart. That's his life. That's his retirement dream. And I did say, well, you could have like an ATV to get around this 5-acre property. So, would that count? And it does not count. It does not count. So it's just like, doesn't count. Doesn't count. Yeah. So what we were thinking is that one group would live in half the duplex, you know, one side of the duplex, and the other group would live in the single family home. And then the other side of the duplex would be the office work area for everyone. I don't know how many bedrooms the duplex has specifically, but we do know the whole property has 9 bedrooms. So we figure each of the buildings has 1 bedroom, so that's 4 bedrooms. So there's at least 5 more bedrooms. So even if every property has 2 bedrooms, one thing has 3. So, because there's 5 properties if you count the duplex as 2. So something has only 1. My guess is the trailers are 1 bedroom and the other 7 bedrooms are in the duplex and the single family home, and that the duplex has probably 1 on one side and 2 on the other, and the single family home has 2. But that's just guessing because they don't have pictures of the inside, which is also concerning. But they said you could rent it out, so I don't know how long before Mr. Lifeguard can fulfill his dream. But one of the things they advertised is that it has a it has a bee colony. And like I said, parts of it have been kind of converted to farm, like they were trying to grow stuff. So I don't know. I don't know if they were like trying to make like a homestead commune thing work and it just didn't work out or what, but okay. So I chose this for the purple page because I do think this is the one of the pieces from the collection that it does kind of go with. So the only question is, do I want to do something with this guy or just leave it as the flamingo? And I think just leave it as the flamingo. So we shall see. But one day he'll have his golf cart. Yeah. The HOA where Damien's parents live is like that. The HOA does all the landscaping and also the cape. So that is on the eastern side of Georgia. Then we also looked at the western side of Georgia at Columbus, because that is the second largest city in Georgia after Atlanta, and we don't want to live in Atlanta. I don't think, it just seems like Atlanta's got a lot of the same problems cost of living wise as the area where we are currently. So that's kind of not an area we were looking at. But I don't know anything about Columbus. And it just like, you know, I was just reflecting on the United States is like so large, and the geography is, at least for me, I know very little really about states I haven't lived in. So like I couldn't tell you what, if anything, Columbus is famous for, other than I know there's a fort there. Fort Benning. Yeah. So we've also been looking at Columbus. But then some, Mr. Lifeguard just got a flyer in the mail asking him to look at a new community opening in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Is that what it, which is so interesting because I don't know why they're advertising to people in Tampa. But, oh, that's possible, Barbara Jean. Yeah, that the trailers are where maybe the people who helped them with the farm lived. Yeah, that's a possibility. I don't know. We'd have to see it anyway, but and we'd have to, the main thing is we'd have to know what the internet is like there, because once we're in Georgia, 3 people will be working from home. So the internet has got to be like perfect, you know. Okay. All right. So now we've got to do this flap and these inserts. So, all right, let's think about the flap. What do we want to put on the flap? So anyway, it's a very weird property, but is it the basic bones of a cult? Maybe. I may have found the location for our doomsday crafting cult. So we shall have to see. So all right, so I'm going to just put these here. But yeah, Columbus is on like the complete opposite side of the state. So 6 1/4. So 6 1/4 by 3 1/4. Well, I was just thinking we might have to like hire Damien to do all the landscaping and stuff. My sister said we should just get goats. Because I guess they just eat all your grass and then you don't have to cut it. But I don't know how many goats you need for 5 acres of grass. So. We live in a suburb right outside of Tampa. So we can be anywhere in Tampa in like 25 minutes. So it's very convenient, but we don't have a Tampa address. So. But it's very, very easy to get into Tampa from where we are. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe we need to just think about if this is where we're going to put our cult. So, how long have we been talking about the cult? I think I lived in Miami when we started talking about the cult, because we were talking about, there was some end of the world like prediction that I was joking around about. I feel like maybe it was, I don't know. I feel like we've been talking about this for a long time, but who knows? Okay. The Merry Christmas paper would have been a good idea, Kathleen, but I had already cut this, so I'm just going to go with it. But I agree that that's a good choice, because it'll then match the kitty. We could rent the trailers as an Airbnb. Airbnb is getting wild. We tried to rent an Airbnb for something, I don't remember, and it was like, oh, it's only $92 a night, but there's a $375 cleaning fee. And I was like, you know what? I can just stay in a hotel. What is wrong with you? Just like. But yeah, I was trying to think of things that I could do with the trailers. Renting them out's a good idea. I also thought about making one of them into like a media center. And like maybe, you know, putting the big TV in there, or like a projector, and just making that like the main living room TV watching area or whatever. But then I was like, you got to think about, do you want to have to walk to technically another building when you want to watch TV? Now, Well, you know, crime is a concern because it's a lot easier to steal things in rural areas. You know, or it's just there's, you know, less risk of getting caught. It's about a 30-minute drive from the city. Well, it's a 30-minute drive from the office building where Mr. Lifeguard would be. So, which is pretty close to the center of the city as far as I know. So, you know, there may be, like, you might be able to get to the city faster than half an hour, but to get to where he worked, it would be half an hour. Because we put in his work address for the commute on realtor.com, because it will tell you what the commute is from every property if you plug in your work address, which is very convenient to kind of know how far all these things are. So. All right, so all right, let me see. I want to make a little scene with the cat if I can. And not just have the cat kind of floating in outer space here with these ornaments. Because it looks a little trippy, doesn't it? Or is that just me? Look, I guess he looks fine. Just looked a little psychedelic to me, but I guess it looks fine. All right, let's give him his little eye patch. Marcel does not have an eye patch, but okay. Yeah, not with the orange slice. Look how dashing. Pirate cat, pirate kitty. Yeah, he looks totally fine without anything else. He can just go right there. Artists in residence, that's what it is. Artists in residence. Absolutely. That's what we have. We will put artist in residence. He would have looked great on the Merry Christmas paper. Oh my gosh. Backseat crafting. Backseat crafting. I think he might look better on the ornaments, to my surprise. She sent me a spooky one. She said because she said she knew I liked scary Halloween. So let me go look. Let me see if I get the names. Okay, so one of them is called Happy Halloween, and the other one is called Halloween Night, and I'm pretty sure Halloween Night is the one she was thinking of for me. But yeah, it's gotta be. Yeah, Happy Halloween is definitely the one that's more like what I would like. Happy Halloween is definitely my kind of Halloween. I do like the spookier Halloweens, for sure. That's my preference. Although this one has like a really creepy face in it. This one actually is quite spooky. Ooh, I love this like acid wallpaper. Okay. All right. Yeah. I need to get... Where am I going to get a tiny cat though? Let me go look in my Halloween papers and find a tiny cat. I'm not going to back him on green because I don't need to. I don't think. But what do you think? Do you like Happy Halloween or do you like ornaments? So there's ornaments. Yes, that is a good call out. It does look a lot like Beetlejuice. Or Meowie Christmas. Meowie Christmas. All right, well, you decide. I'm going to go look at my digital papers and see if I can quickly find a tiny cat. Is there not a cat in either 31? Huh. I don't think I have a tiny cat that's already downloaded and whatnot. So I'm going to have to spend more time on that. Yeah, the ornaments seem more playful, and he is very playful. Plus, I already stuck the ornaments down, so that gives them an edge. I can't even think about what a menace he's going to be on a Christmas tree. Oh my gosh. He has tons of confidence. He has the confidence of a cat 10 times his size. Today, he jumped on Kitty so many times she got tired of swatting him and climbed on top of the refrigerator. I think I already told you guys that. But yeah, like he just wouldn't stop. Like he just never got the message. He just never got the message. So, all right. I just looked at the clock and saw that it's 11:20. So we'll finish these at the beginning of next class. But lots of progress was made today. We are in great shape. We are in great shape. So thank you so much for joining me so far. Once again, lots of wonderful progress made. We got all of these things matted. We finished this pocket. Look how full and fun it looks. We're working on this pocket. We're going to make it look full and fun. We've got 2 of the 3 cats already. All kinds of progress has been made. So everyone, thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay hydrated. Yeah, I guess we were having fun. Oh well. Oh well. We ran over. It's fine. We're having a good time. Stay hydrated. Still summer. Careful with your hydration. And I will see you Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern USA time. And I have the week to find a tiny cat. So I'm going to find a tiny cat so that she can join her little friendos. I think if I put tiny cat here, so then all 3 cats will be seen when it's in this position. That's what we'll do. We'll find a way to put tiny cat there. So thanks so much for watching me, everyone. Just remember, if you're watching this on YouTube, check the playlist for other videos in this series so that you can see how to make one of these albums yourself. Or if you're in the archives, all the videos are there for you as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.